in Georgia and Florida. 39. It was called Operation Not Forgotten. 15 of those kids were victims of sex trafficking. Some were as young as 3 years old. Others were as old as 17. 9 people ended up being arrested on 26 warrants in that. 39 kids across 2 states.
You know, I wonder how much of this story is tied to illegal immigration. And the fact that, like you said, I mean, the U.S. Marshals Service is obviously part of the federal government.
Right.
It would reflect well on Donald Trump in terms of an accomplishment and achievement during his administration.
A law and order thing, and he's helping kids.
But at the same time, of course, his bread and butter issue in 2016 was illegal immigration. And among the reasons...
we had criminals coming across the border, and they were going to hurt our kids. I don't know specifically how many of these were foreign nationals that were arrested. I don't know that.
Anyway, that might be interesting as well.
All right. Second part of this. Last week, the U.S. Marshals saved 25 kids in Ohio in Operation Safety Net. They were between the ages of 13 and 18-year-olds. 6 of those kids were victims of sex trafficking and forced prostitution. Kids as young as 13.
Goodness gracious.
Okay? This is a huge story. Huge story. How about this week? Operation Homecoming in Indiana. 8 more missing children recovered by the U.S. Marshal Services between the ages of 6 and 17. They'd been victims of child sex trafficking, child exploitation, sex abuse, physical abuse, medical or mental health conditions, of course, that come along with all of that when you go through that kind of an abuse. Look, we've had 72 kids rescued in this country in the past 2 weeks. The U.S. Marshal deserves kudos for that. They should be receiving well dones.
Well, and the other part, the other part of that is this story reflects well on law enforcement.
Absolutely.
And
does.
The media narrative right now is that law enforcement isn't worth a damn.
Well, and notice I haven't talked about the race of these kids. I frankly don't know the race of these kids or these perpetrators. I think there's all kinds here. But
that's not the point.
That's not the point, right? Because it's about life. It's about human beings. All of these lives matter. And they're being tremendously helped by the U.S. Marshal Service to pull them out of that situation. Now, unfortunately, 72 is just a small number compared to the number of kids who are currently missing in the United States.